The pija a what more, the nishtahai pija a what more, the nishtahai numaga pija numa shinami yarawa, mogoi, in a good way. Send blessings to all our relatives in the four directions, the nishtahai pa, blessing the water, numaga, and all our relations. Morning update. Last night, the drill, I believe it's called a bore, it's boring. The drill isn't there, it's boring is what I was explained, that the drilling process will come afterwards. This has been a 6-month viewing, seeing how when you're looking at this from a different perspective, from eyes in the sky, which is Guinapuni, we call it eagle eyes, is that the militarization of drones there last night were visual, and this time it wasn't hidden from when we documented. Also, there's a pretty much a full moon out, and so it's interesting to send a test run out to see if the drone would follow it, and it did. So I sent the first test drone out, and it came back. And this drone, there's two different types of drones. There's a manned drone and looks like an unmanned drone, which is what's using what's called waypoints, which what it does is it just flies in a circle, and then it'll go manual when we see it go above the camp or above the drill pad. So from approximately 2 miles away, you can see clearly from the lights of Bismarck, if you're looking through binoculars, any type of airplane, helicopter, or drone, which has been to our advantage, because if you're a drone pilot and your drones are being taken down in North Dakota, I believe the drones can be weaponized. And from the footage of the last drone of November 20th, the drone that was taken down from a drone from above. The shot came straight down, which we knew it wasn't a shot straight up because the angle of the shot was like this. Then after that, the drone was hit. Very hard to hit a drone. So last night, the drone, we know aren't being shot from a long distance away, which we thought snipers taking it out. No, it's not a sniper. We also know that the use of RF frequency has been used, or wireless frequencies have been used to disconnect the drone, which only a few agencies in the government have, such as Border Patrol would be a good example of who has that type of technology to take down drones that go over the border. And from what we've seen with test drones, we call them, it's funny, arrestables. Those drones are able to be taken down as the sacrifice for the collect data on what they're using and not telling the public on what they're using. And so unmanned drones is another one. Seeing these waypoints being set, and waypoints, if you're a drone pilot, you know you can have your drone fly and take pictures, and you're able to film as your drone is following in a circle, which you command it to. You set certain parameters for it to fly, and it'll fly in those directions and then come back home. Well, last night the drone wouldn't come back, and we knew that it was being hit, and I couldn't figure it out. The first drone that we actually visually seen in front of us, about 20 feet away, followed the drone all the way back. The second, the drone that, so I'm assuming they allowed us to fly and then monitor our patterns, and then that's how they take it down. This drone was about 500 yards from the landing, and then it took off in a different direction, and we couldn't bring it back, and we lost it. So it makes me feel at that moment that the signal was interrupted, and that's a kind of a common occurrences with drone pilots that have been coming to Osheti, Rosebud, or Sacred Stones and losing their drones. Many people over the last months, now this has only been the last maybe 2 months this has been going on, but have lost their drones. They're like, you got a lot of controllers at the camp. I have a lot of controllers from our drones being lost, being taken over, and either they drop or they go and, from what I've seen where the drone was at, it couldn't have been shot at all. But when we looked up, there was a drone above it, about 1,000 feet in elevation. And we're going to continue to try to document that. So the drill pad was documented last night, and it was documentation that they were working. And they're not shooting at the drones in the drill pad. Usually they would shoot in the drill pad at the drones. And I got the bullet holes in my drones to prove it. The bullet holes in my propeller. So that's what we're looking at with the drones right now. They are documenting. And the drone I seen at the bridge, I'll also post to see if I have that on video. But that drone sat about 10 feet and hovered. And then it hovered to the side. And it was a different type of drone. So we're documenting these drones as well as them. They're documenting us. We're watching them. They're watching us. And we're in our legal right to fly. Just so you guys know, the pilots there are in their legal right to fly. And there is a fly zone, so you can fly in these areas. And so far what we know, I'm thinking about the drill pad. When I think about back home, about the drill pad, and I'm wondering if they were to drill on our reservation, one of the things that in Nevada is really, in Paiute country, is that there's a lot of mining that's going on. So I was trying to think of this, how can I, in terms, put it another way? That water right there, the Lake Oahe, is Army Corps of Engineer land. So does the tribe own the mineral rights underneath that water? And has Dakota Access Pipeline, Energy Transfer, whichever subsidiary company they want to go under, acquired the mineral rights for them to go under that lake? And are there burial sites underneath as well? Will they disturb them, disturb the ancestors? Do they care? They don't care. But legally, let's take it back legally. Do they have the mineral rights to go underneath the water? And that approval, and who gave them the approval? If they do have the approval to go underneath the water into the mineral rights, does the tribe have the mineral rights? I'm just thinking outside of the box here, because back home in Nevada, you know, they have been desecrating sacred sites for mining purposes. And then also the other, Yucca Mountain is another one with the storing of nuclear waste out in the Yucca Mountain. So these are just a few things to think about. You have the Anaconda Mine also in Yerington, Nevada, which is an environmental disaster right next to the Yerington Paiute tribe. The Walker Paiute tribe has got 2 military bases on both sides. So they do bombing, and the bombing is part of the contribution to the killing of all our fish in the Walker Lake over there right next to Hawthorne, Nevada. So I'm thinking about the mineral content underneath and what does that mean, and under the water. So guys, maybe do your research. Let's brainstorm this. Let's crowdsource some solutions to see if they have the right, who gave them the mineral rights, and if they do and the tribe does. I don't know. We'll have to find out. But last night, the drone number 1 was lost, and we have the replacement for drone number 2. And we'll be documenting as much as we possibly can. The goal is not to get our drones shot out of the sky or taken out of the sky. It's to be in safety, to do it the best possible way, away from crowds, and to document what's happening with the desecration of the land, and not if the pipeline breaks, but when. Send blessings to all our relations in the 4 directions. A lot of blessings to those guys on the other side in the drill pad and around the drill pad. Today is going to be the focus of the militarization of the police force, the National Guard, and the mercenaries that are on the hill. It'll be a complete fly around to show you the militarization in the protection of the Dakota Access Pipeline with domestic resources, with an international company having eminent domain over tribal lands, over right-of-ways, through farmers' lands. So here's something that was, I want to say, very interesting. They said there's no flow of oil going through. So a gentleman told me last night, go put your ear next to one of the flows of the pipe, and if you hear a flow in there, and we're talking along the pipeline, all the way along, guys, if there's a flow, if you can hear the flow, he said. So he was a past oil worker, and he had an oil company, and he said, this is what you do, but you can literally hear it, the oil flow through. And if you can, take a picture of where that's at, GPS it, and send it to me so we can find out if the oil is coming down this way from the beginning and origin of the pipeline, the Dakota Access Pipeline. You can Google that map, and he said, put your ear to it. He said, put your ear to the pipe, and you can hear it if it is. There's a valve, shut-off valves where those pipes are. So he said, you can hear literally if there is oil going through. So send that if you guys can. and so we can get a readout of exactly where that pipeline is, and if the oil is coming through. There's also an area that I documented, I'll document again today, is the gas line that was really worked on really hard, pulled up and extracted, and it looks like a valve shut off. I put a call out before to see what that was, and it looks like a valve shut off, and then somebody sent me a picture in their community where there's a oil valve shut off as well. So really trying to articulate what we're seeing. I'm not an oil expert, so I'm looking for you guys as the experts to educate the world, the public, and all of us, even myself, as much as possible, so I can accurately articulate what we're seeing. Sending blessings, you guys. Many blessings. Aho. And send many blessings to our water protectors that are still holding ground, still staying in prayer, and resilient. Aho.